I remember the world's edge, a place shrouded in the mystery of night, where the ocean's whispers melded with the cries of creatures unknown. There, I lived with my sisters, Steno and Euryale, daughters of the sea deities Phorcys and Ceto. Our home, beyond famed Oceanus, was a realm untouched by mortals, a sanctuary where time seemed to stand still. In this serene solitude, I pondered my mortality, a stark contrast to my sisters' immortal fates. Little did I know, this quiet existence was about to be shattered by a destiny that would etch my name in history. As the Gorgon sisters, we were feared yet revered. Our appearances were striking hair of living serpents, eyes that held secrets of the deep. I, Medusa, was different, mortal, yet bound to an immortal legacy. Our gaze could turn the bravest warriors to stone, a power both a blessing and a curse. Our lair was a refuge, a place where our monstrous beauty could exist without judgment. But my heart longed for more than the confines of our dark abode. I yearned to explore, to experience the world beyond our watery realm. Once, I was not the monster of legends. I was Medusa, a maiden with hair like golden sunrays, and eyes reflecting the azure sea. My beauty was a gift, yet it became my curse. I served in Athena's temple, my devotion pure and unwavering. But fate is often unkind. One day, Poseidon, god of the sea, saw me. His gaze burned with desire, a flame that threatened to consume my very being. I was powerless against his divine will. That fateful encounter in the sacred temple set in motion a series of events that would change me forever. The aftermath of Poseidon's lust left the temple desecrated, and I, its unwilling victim, bore the brunt of Athena's fury. She, the virgin goddess, was enraged not at the sea god but at me. Her wrath was as cold as it was merciless. With a curse, she transformed my cherished beauty into a grotesque form. My hair, once my pride, became a nest of venomous snakes. My gaze, once warm and inviting, turned lethal. I was no longer Medusa the maiden but Medusa the monster, an embodiment of Athena's vengeance. In my transformation, I was not alone. My sisters, who stood by me, shared my fate. Athena's curse extended to Steno and Euryale, binding us together in our monstrous forms. We became the Gorgons of legend, creatures of terror, yet bound by sisterly love. Our lair became our sanctuary and prison. I felt the weight of my new existence, a burden I shared with my sisters. Together, we navigated our new reality, finding solace in our shared curse, yet mourning the life we once knew. I heard tales of a mortal Perseus, born of Zeus' golden reign and Dana's womb. His destiny was entwined with mine, though we were strangers. Acrisius, his grandfather, feared an oracle's prophecy that he would be slain by his grandson. So, Perseus and Dana were cast into the sea, their lives spared by divine whim. Raised by Dictys on Seriphus, Perseus grew strong and valiant. Yet, fate's cruel hand played once more. Polydectes, Dictys' brother, desired Dana and sought to rid himself of Perseus. He tasked the young hero with an impossible quest, to bring him my head, a task believed to be certain death. Perseus, naive and brave, accepted the quest. Little did he know, his journey would shape both our destinies. He was a pawn in a game played by gods and kings, his path leading inevitably to me. He saw not just my head, but also to prove his worth, unaware of the true nature of his quest. Meanwhile, I dwelled in my cursed existence, unaware that forces beyond my control were steering this young hero towards me. As Perseus set out, equipped by gods and driven by fate, our paths crept ever closer, destined to intersect in a moment that would echo through eternity. Perseus' journey was not one he would traverse alone. The gods, watching from their celestial thrones, chose to aid him. Zeus, his father, granted him strength. Athena, seeking the end of my cursed existence, provided a polished shield, its surface like a mirror. Hermes, the swift messenger, lent him winged sandals. And Hades, lord of the underworld, offered a helm of darkness for invisibility. Armed with these divine gifts, Perseus embarked on his mission, more a puppet of the gods than a hero of his own making. Each step brought him closer to me, a clash of mortal and divine fates intertwined.
With the gods' blessings, I, Perseus, ventured forth, my heart a mix of fear and resolve. My first task was to seek the Grey, the three ancient sisters who shared a single eye and knew Medusa's whereabouts. In a land shrouded in mist and mystery, I found them. By cunning and quickness, I took their eye, compelling them to reveal the path to the Gorgons. They spoke of a distant land, where nightmares dwelled and hope faltered. With their guidance, I journeyed on, the weight of destiny heavy upon my shoulders, each step taking me closer to a fate I could scarcely comprehend. In a remote, desolate land, I found the cave where Medusa slumbered. The air was thick with dread, and the hiss of serpents echoed in the darkness. I, Perseus, had never known fear like this. With Athena's shield in hand, I gazed at her reflection, avoiding her direct, petrifying stare. There she lay, a creature of nightmares. Yet I sensed a tragic beauty in her monstrous form. Her snakes writhed softly as she breathed, a stark reminder of the goddess's cruel curse. It was a moment suspended in time, the predator and the prey, locked in a dance as old as the gods themselves. With a heart heavy with unspoken remorse, I raised my sword. In a swift, silent stroke, Medusa's head was severed. From her neck sprang Pegasus and Chrysaor, children of Poseidon, symbols of freedom and strength born from tragedy. As her head fell into the knapsack, her last breath seemed to whisper a lament, a tale of beauty turned to horror, innocence lost to divine caprice. The deed was done, but at what cost? I, Perseus, had become a slayer of monsters, yet I could not shake the feeling that I had extinguished a life, far more complex than the legends would ever tell. As I clutched Medusa's severed head, her sisters awakened, their grief-stricken cries piercing the heavy air. Stheno and Euryale, embodiments of rage and sorrow, sought vengeance. I, cloaked in Hades' helm of darkness, became a shadow, a ghost fleeting through the caverns. Their wails haunted my steps, a reminder of the familial bond I had shattered. The burden of my deed weighed upon me as I fled, not just from the Gorgons, but from the harsh truth of my actions, hidden beneath the veil of invisibility and heroism. Upon my escape, I witnessed the transformative power of Medusa's blood. Each drop that fell to the earth birthed venomous serpents, slithering embodiments of her enduring curse. As I journeyed through Libya, the land became a testament to Medusa's legacy, a place where beauty and terror coexisted. It was a poignant reminder of the duality of life, how destruction can give birth to new forms, and how even in death, Medusa's presence remained potent and transformative. This land, marked by her blood, stood as a silent witness to the tragedy that had unfolded. In my journey, I encountered Atlas, the titan who bore the heavens upon his shoulders. His refusal to offer me rest revealed the weariness of a being burdened by an eternal task. In a moment of desperation, I wielded Medusa's head. Atlas, transformed into stone, became a mountain, his burden now part of the earth itself. This act, though born from necessity, weighed heavily on me, as I pondered the ease with which power could be misused, and how even the mightiest could be rendered helpless by the whims of fate and the actions of others. My path led me to Andromeda, chained to a rock, a sacrifice to appease Poseidon's wrath. Her plight, a stark reminder of the cruelty of gods and the helplessness of mortals. Using Medusa's head, I turned the approaching sea monster to stone, liberating Andromeda from her fate. In her, I saw a reflection of my own journey, a life altered by divine intervention. Our meeting was not just a rescue, but a moment of connection between two souls caught in the tumult of God's play. It was a fleeting respite, a glimmer of hope in a saga marked by trials and tribulations. with Medusa's head, a formidable weapon. I turned those who threatened me to stone. My enemies, once daunting, fell like leaves in autumn. Phineus, Andromeda's once betrothed, became a statue, a silent testament to his thwarted ambitions. Perseus, the usurper of Argos, met a similar fate. His reign of terror ended in a moment of petrified silence. Even Polydex, whose machinations had set me on this path, was not spared. The power I wielded was immense, yet each use chipped away at my soul, a reminder of the heavy price of vengeance and the burden of divine gifts. My journey reached its end. I returned Medusa's head to Athena, the goddess who had set my path in motion. As I presented the head, I felt a release, a burden lifted from my shoulders. Athena placed it on her shield, the aegis, a symbol of divine might and protection. In another version of my tale, I buried the head in Argos, a city now guarded by its petrifying gaze. The weight of my actions, the leads altered, the power I wielded, all crystallized in that moment. It was an end and a beginning, the closing of a chapter in my life. As I reflected on my journey, I pondered Medusa's legacy. Once a symbol of terror, her story revealed deeper layers. To some, she was a guardian, her image warding off evil. To others, a symbol of feminine rage and power. Her tale, a complex tapestry of transformation and tragedy, continued to resonate through the ages. In my heart, she represented the consequences of divine whims and the resilience of the cursed. Her story, interwoven with mine, was a poignant reminder of the delicate balance between beauty and horror, strength and vulnerability. Medusa's image transcended myth, becoming a staple in art and culture. Her visage adorned temples and shields, a testament to her lasting impact. In the Parthenon, her image stood as a protector, a guardian against adversity. Her story was told through sculptures, mosaics, and pottery, each piece a narrative frozen in time. As I witnessed these artistic tributes, I realized her story was not just mine to tell. It belonged to the ages, a myth that captivated and warned, a symbol of the complex dance between power and vulnerability, duty and terror. In my travels, I encountered the Gorgonian, the revered symbol of Medusa's head. This emblem, once a source of fear, had transformed into a symbol of protection and power. It adorned shields and temples, serving as a guardian against misfortune. The Gorgonian reminded me of the transformative nature of life and the enduring legacy of myths. Medusa's transition from beauty to beast, and then to protector, mirrored the capriciousness of fate. The Gorgonian stood as a testament to the power of stories, in shaping understanding, a shield against adversity, both literal and metaphorical. As I reflected upon Medusa's story, I realized its reach extended far beyond ancient myths. Her name and image found places in modern science and culture. From the Medusa in biology to astronomical references, her legacy was vast. Even in everyday language, her name evoked images of power and transformation. Medusa's story, a blend of tragedy and strength, had traversed centuries, continually reinterpreted yet always retaining its core essence. In contemplating this, I understood the true power of myth, its ability to transcend time, culture, and science, embedding itself in the collective consciousness of humanity. Thanks for watching. Loved it? Hit like, share, and subscribe. Join us for more captivating tales. You're part of our story.